Welcome everybody to the American Elite Racing Truck Series tonight, Monday night racing here at Nashville Super Speedway. We are underway in practice, getting ready to go into qualifying. Tonight's race, like I said, is Nashville Super Speedway. We've got about 34 drivers on track as of right now. Temps are looking pretty good on track. I think they've only got about 90 degrees on track, which is a good temperature for Nashville running around this track. So I would like to see that temperature stay right there, not get any warmer. But we've got an interesting race here to kind of go into race number 3. I'll pull up the standings right here. And after last week's race at Bristol, Nick Gowan moves to number 1 spot over Jared Mauger. Jason Fensler falls to 3rd after his first race win of the season back in race 1. And Nick had an excellent race last week with Jared Mauger also having a great race. Jason had a decent race, but then fell off towards the end, got involved in an incident, slid back in the pack. Great race by the team of Aeon last week. Nick Gowan, Stan Carnathan, and Michael York, all three finishing in the top 7, I think, for that race. So great job by those 3 teammates. A lot of great driving by a lot of different people. Jared Mauger finishing in the top 3, both races so far. Nick Gowan both finishing in the top 2 in both races. So very strong start for those 2 drivers. Top 10's looking very good in the points right now. We've got the top 12 that are locked in as of right now. 4 drivers facing the outside of the playoffs just to get in right now. Nick Gowan leading that group. Jared Mauger 2nd. Jason Fensler 3rd. Stan Carnathan 4th. Michael York 5th in the points. James Suggs 6th. Robert Hottenbach is 7th. Jamie Haynes in his 53, owner admin of AER, is sitting 8th right now. 9th new admin added this week for this race is Charles Mosley in the 9th spot after a great race last week, finishing 3rd. Jim Ott sitting 10th right now. David Deputy sitting 11th. And Garrett Hall rounding out the top 12. The 4 drivers right on the outside of the top 12 to make it to the playoffs is John Ross sitting 13th. Jeff No, Mr. Stout Whiskey sitting 14th right now. Jorge Rincon sitting 15th. And Robert Mathis sitting 16th. Those 4 drivers need to pick up some more points throughout this 3rd race to get into that top 12. Not a big season, but you're going to want to carry as many points as you can throughout this playoff or throughout this regular season to be able to get into that playoff and go for that all-important championship. What I'll do right now is I'll bring up a driver real quick, and we'll talk to one of the drivers for this race and see how they're feeling about tonight's race and track conditions and things like that on track. One of the drivers I'm looking to try to pull. I will try to pull. Let's give a fan vote. Go ahead and throw a vote out there on who you'd like me to pick as a driver. I'll give you about 10 seconds or about 20 seconds to put a name out there. We'll see who comes up in the chat. If you guys are listening and out there, go ahead and type in the name of the person you want me to pull up in chat. Mr. Repeat out there in chat saying Mark Morton. That's a good one. Shadow would be a good one to talk to. See if he gets any more votes here. If anybody that the names come in, I've got about another 10 seconds before I finish up that, and I will grab one of the drivers that's out there. Mark Morton leading that vote right now, though. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's just give it to Mark Morton. I go out here and find him in the Discord and see if I can grab him and pull him up to the booth to get a little talking to him. Unfortunately, I am not seeing him. Where would he be? He is hiding somewhere in this Discord. All right, I'm sorry, repeat, but Mark is not in the Discord chats. He is hiding. Oh, there he is. He just popped. Must be listening. Oh, and Mark came right up to the booth. Must be listening to the chat here. Mark, you got a copy? All right, bud. Repeat, put your name out in the chat saying to call you up to the booth just to get a little talking to you and see how you're doing about tonight's Nashville Super Speedway race out on track. These trucks can be tricky at this track. How are you feeling about tonight's race?
Just like every race, I'm nervous.
Come on. Got to get those nervous butterflies out the way. You've been driving really good throughout the season to start the season.
Yeah, uh, getting there. I'm just, being new to the league. I somewhat, quote unquote. I want to make. I don't want to make any enemies, so I'm just doing what I can with what I got.
Well, from what I hear in different streams, you've been tearing it up in officials, trying to get that I rating and safety rating up. I know you've been working hard to get your skill level up to par, and it's been showing up at least in a few different leagues that I've been watching you run in. You've had some really good runs here in AER. I believe you've had some good runs in Turn Down for What. There's a couple of leagues out there that you're running in. So, what is it about Nashville that, maybe you could have a decent night tonight?
That pit exit cone.
So you're
I have a feeling it might get a couple people, and not to call out any names, the top five people. But
That sounds like some
you
hoping
know,
and praying on that part.
yeah. See, their bad luck could be their misfortune could be my gain. So hopefully that happens tonight. But hopefully my misfortune isn't anybody else's gain either.
Well, buddy, I've enjoyed knowing you for the last couple, I don't know, what has it been, 2 or 3 years since Xbox?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
sir.
you've been in and out of the racing scene. You're now back into the racing scene, full time driving. Really, really happy and really glad to see you. Putting the time in and being here, and like hearing your voice when we bring you up into the booth, or hearing you chat in repeat stream and a couple other leagues and things like that. Definitely gonna see. When you got the time and the effort to put in for this iRacing that we all know and love to hate, if you can pull off some wins and really move up through the standings.
Yeah, it definitely the public lobbies really do help me out. But like when you were saying earlier, helping my I rating and safety rating, I go in there and I feel like people. It's like I got a target on my back because people like to do stupid stuff on me, and it screws my I rating up and my safety rating.
Oh, that's just officials to me.
Yeah.
It
Oh
doesn't matter
my! I
your I
can't
rating or
tell you.
safety rating. You go into an official lobby and there's always one person in there or two people in there that just like to make it hectic for everybody else and mess everybody's ratings up. So I actually don't even really run officials anymore because I don't see a point to it.
Oh yeah.
So I do
It.
see where it does bring out some wreck avoidance and maybe some side by side racing and things like that can help. So
Oh
um,
yeah, and I definitely want to give a shout out to P because he's my my spotter in this my eye in the sky. Because I mean I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh I'm quitting. Forget this dang official race. He's like, don't do that because you're rating gonna hurt even more. But no, so I definitely want to appreciate him and all that he's done. He's a really swell guy, and I'm lucky to know him and have a good friendship with him.
Well, swell guy is, I think, an underrated word for repeat.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if you could go through the dictionary and find the most biggest word to throw out there for a guy who will do anything to help you and be there, and I mean, just a guy's guy to hang out with and talk to, and just there's nothing. I don't think you could ever say as much as needed to be said about repeat. So definitely right there with you. Uh, you know, best guy to be around, and I've got
Almost
all kinds of
definitely.
respect and appreciation for Repeat as much as he's taught me and got me to where I'm at for being able to speak on these broadcasts and things like that. Learned from him, learned from Atlanta, Rick James, Frozen Toes. I mean, there's so many ones that I've pulled knowledge and skill from. So definitely Repeat's that Mount Rushmore of broadcaster, in my opinion.
Almost definitely, yes, sir. If his face is definitely on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. But anyways, looks like you are going into qualifying, so I'm not going to keep you from that. I'll send you back down to your teammates there if you want to move yourself, or if I can move you.
I'm in turned down for what?
Oh, okay.
Pete's my spotter tonight.
All right. Well, go ahead and move back over to there, and good luck tonight. And maybe I'll be talking to you at the end of the race.
Yes, sir. Hopefully so. See you later, boss.
All right. Good luck. All right, we're going to go to the national anthem here, give that big salute to the red, white, and blue, and we will be right back to watch the ending of qualifying and see what the grading looks like for the start of the Nashville Superspeedway race for American Elite Racing Truck Series. All right, we're back here at Nashville Super Speedway, ready to rock and roll, getting qualifying ended. They got about a minute and a half left. Let me clear the screen. Nashville Super Speedway, very, very fun track, and it does not sound like I have sound, so give me a second here. All right, there we go. All right, so Nashville Super Speedway, this is the third race of this season so far. It's been a quick season. We've got different things going on. They've got no win and you're in. I was kind of surprised by that one, but Nick Gowan got the second win at Bristol last week. Jason Fensler got the first win of the season out at Kentucky. Got a lot of people out in the chat going on right now. Sammy Harrell saying, all right, gents, let's put on a show. Repeat saying, crap, this is getting deep. Elite Cup Racing on Xbox saying, let's go racing, boys. And CM Bama 89, thank you for being out in the chat saying, good luck tonight, fellas. Really appreciate you guys being out on Twitch, YouTube, iRock TV, Facebook, and any other social media thing that I'm linked to right now to be able to get this out there for you guys to be able to watch this incredible series and these incredible drivers put on a show. If you guys have any specific drivers that you are rooting for tonight, please let me know in the chat, and I will try to make sure I look at them and figure out what they've got going on for a graphic on their trucks and how they're doing throughout the race. All right, looks like qualifying is about to wrap up, and we will have the gridding coming up here in just a second. There it is. So number one on the pole again tonight, Jason Fensler, I believe his second pole of the season. He is sitting third in the points as of right now with his first win at Kentucky. Nick Gowan going to be second on the outside, winner of last week's Bristol race, sitting first in the points right now. Third is going to be Stan Carnathan sitting fourth right now in the points. He's going to be rolling off third. Jared Moggard finished in the top three in both races so far this season, currently sitting second in the points, going to be rolling off in fourth position. Michael Carter going to be starting fifth tonight. Charles Mosley Jr. going to be starting sixth. Ryan Murphy is going to be starting seventh. Mike Miller is going to be rolling off eighth. Jason Ayerson is going to be ninth. Joe Connolly 10th. Jeff No 11th. Jen Maat is going to be 12th. James Suggs 13th. John Ross 14th. Jamie Haynes 15th. Keith Bost is going to be 16th. Michael E. York is going to be 17th. Mark Morton, who we just spoke to about running around Nashville Super Speedway, is going to be running off 18th. Garrett Hall is going to be 19th. Sam Taylor 20th. Al Likens going to be 21st. Dylan Picklesmeyer is going to be 22nd. David Deputy 23rd. Adam Botten 24th. Robert Hattenbach is going to be 25th. Austin Greer 26th. Robert Mathis 27th. Doug King 28th. Frank Ranger Jr., new subscriber to my YouTube channel. Appreciate that. He's going to be rolling off 29th tonight. Mike Newton is going to be 30th. Jeremiah Nelson 31st. James Ledford 32nd. Tay McDonald 33rd. Jason Palmer 34th. And I think, nope, we got some more. Jorge Rincon going to be starting 35th. And Matt Helm will be rolling off 36th to end out the field. A lot of names rolling through that one. Took me a good mouthful to get that one out there. 36 drivers on the track tonight. Should be a full, fun-filled drive for the drivers tonight at Nashville Super Speedway under the lights. This is going to get interesting right off the bat with three of the top three in the points. Actually, all four of the top four of the points are going to be starting in the top four tonight. So, big points night for the guys who are already in those initial positions to get into the playoffs. We'll see if they can hold on to it tonight. We got Ali Sam 204700 out there saying go Miller, Mike Miller, woohoo. I'm assuming that's definitely a fan of Mike Miller's. And he is rolling off, where did I see Mike? And he's rolling off 8 tonight. So good start for the 15. We'll see if he can move up through the rankings and get up into the top 10, into the points. All right, right now Jason Fenley's still out front, running around 31.24s. He's got about a half-second gap now to second place. Jared Mogert slipped about a second back. Stanford Athens about a second back from third. They are getting strung out through the field through Nashville Superspeedway. I'm going to take a quick break real quick and watch a commercial, coming right on back to see the action at Nashville Superspeedway for American Elite Racing Truck Series race number 3 out of Nashville Superspeedway. Sorry about that. Yeah, I took a break there to try to fix my audio. It sounded like some people were having trouble hearing me. It was like the other night when I was sharing the UFC fights, it looks like it messed up something. So it did get fixed now. Hopefully you guys can hear me. But yeah, running through the field, Jason Fensler still out front. Jason Gatlin about a second back from the lead. Sitting second, Jared Mogard sitting third. Stanford Athens fourth. Jim Ott has moved up to fifth. He is currently up 7 positions throughout the race. Currently sitting there in 6th. Jason Ayerson sitting 7th. Charles Mosley sitting 8th. Jeff No up to 9th. Michael Carter 10th. John Ross is going to be 11th. Jamie Haynes 12th. Mark Morton 13th. And 14 of James Sugg is going to be sitting there in 14th. Mike York is going to be moving up to 14th. Jared Sugg moving back to 15th. Michael Likens going to be 16th. Sam Taylor going to be 17th. Robert Matthews 18th. Dylan Pickmeyer going to be 19th. Mike Miller has moved all the way back. It looks like he is down 12 positions from his starter position. He's back to 20th right now. Hopefully he can make his way back up through the field. We are a lap 25 into this race, out of 100, 1/4 of the way through this race. No stage breaks tonight, so the only way these guys will get bundled back up is if we do have a caution. These guys are very, very skilled. Probably will not see a caution unless somebody gets turned going through pit road or something like that. or maybe coming out back from pit road on those fresh tires. And I apparently just pulled the broadcaster's curse, and I just said that we wouldn't see a caution, and caution is now out on track. So I'm going to have to go find out what happened here. It looks like Mike York might have been involved in this one. That's unfortunate for Mike, who's had a pretty good season so far. To start off this season, he's sitting 5th in the points. So we'll go back and take a look and see if we can find out about Mike York's incident here. All right, riding along with the 23 of Mike York right now, seeing what happened to him here as we go through the button to push play, and Mike York goes into turn 3 and 4, and it looks like a car slides right up into him, and that's the 13, it looks like. That slides right into him and turns him into the corner. Not a good deal for the 13 and 23. That would be, the 23 was Mike York, and the 13, I am trying to find a 13 list. Oh, it's Michael Newton. In his Toyota machine, slid up the track and made contact with the 23, brought out the caution. First caution of the night. Everybody will get restacked up, get those tires and fuel loaded up onto the trucks, and we'll go back green here just shortly. I will pull up the leader here in just a minute. Big race off pit road. Jason Fenster to the 31 of Nick Gowan, and the 00 of Jared Mager, who's been linked all three, pretty much through all three of these races so far, have been pretty much linked to each other. Stan Knappen also right there in 4th. They've all been kind of running next to each other the entire season so far throughout the first 3 races here. But Jason Fensler is going to be your current leader, so I will reach down and see if I can find Jason Fensler down here in the Discord and pull him up into the booth and see what he has to say about tonight's race so far. Jason Fensler coming up to the booth. Jason, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Watching this Nashville Super Speedway race, you are flying. Looks like you are on rails. Got the pole tonight. Looks like you're trying to maybe put a statement down. You've led every single lap so far. Sitting 3rd in the points. I know last week's race at Bristol did not end up the way you probably would like to have seen it, but it slid you out of the top spot in the points, and the guy right behind you who's finished in the top 2 both races is now currently the leader. But you are flying, like I said. How are you doing this on track? How's the truck feeling? Is there any fade on the tires? As that was a pretty good long run right there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard on right front tire, but we got a good truck, but we got a long way to go. So we just gotta keep track position. That's what hurt us last week. We lost track position. So we've got good trucks every race. So hopefully this one will pay off.
Gotcha. So is there any strategy going on or anything like that? I don't know what your tire range was or fuel range was. That was about 25 laps, 26 laps. You guys just ran there. That's a quarter of the way through the races. We've only got 100 laps tonight.
Yeah, I think you need tires before you need fuel. We go about 40 laps on fuel. So this caution was kind of fell right at the right time, to be honest with you. So I don't think we'll be running out of fuel before we pit. I think that we're going to want some tires first. So we'll just see how it falls and kind of go from there.
All right. Well, any shout outs for you? Anybody watching, friends, family?
Yeah, just a big shout out to the friends and family watching. They tune in every week. Appreciate that. And David's Racing Products and Fat Mike's Pizza. Appreciate their help.
All right, I'll send you back up to the general chat with Mr. John Ross, and we'll see how you can finish this thing out. You're looking very, very strong so far. Led every lap, like I said. See if you can finish out this race in the first position.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you.
Good luck. All right, so that is our leader in the 5, Jason Fensler, right now. Looking very, very smooth throughout this race. Has led every lap in the race so far. I mean, very, very dominant. He looked dominant last week in Bristol until he had some issues, and Nick Gowan wound up taking the lead and never looked back from there. And then the 5, Jason Fensler, wound up getting into an incident later on in the race, trying to make a position to get back up to the front. And it took him, I think, to 11th is where he finished last week. But even the first race of the season at Kentucky, he looked very, very strong there. Him and Nick Gowan, Jared Bonner, through the great races all night, chasing each other around this thing, playing leapfrog. But I mean, those 3 plus Stan Knappen are your top 4 in the points, and those 4 have looked very, very strong. As we are getting ready to go back green here, as we come to that start-finish line, I'm going to pull it up here, and there is the start flag, and he is going to be waving that green flag right now as we get going, and there goes the 5, jumping the restart and getting going into turn 1 and 2, and we will fly through there as they are getting ready through the gears and up to speed. Gowan looks like he's going to try to go early to attack the 5. That is my opinion on what you need to do here tonight, is try to get those positions as quickly as possible and make those moves and try to take those positions and just run away from them. It seems to be a lot of follow the leader, so Jason's going to defend that as much as possible. We get another caution out on track. I'm going to try to see if I can pull this one up and see who it was. I'm seeing not really anything. I'm seeing Frank Ranger Jr. went off track a little bit, but I don't know. Let me back it up here and we'll see. Doug King might have been involved in this one as he lost about 6 positions here. So let me back it up here. We'll find Doug King and see if he can maybe point us in the direction of what happened. Like it was Frank Ranger that went off track to avoid him, but that did bring out the caution right there. Just a little bit of wiggling and couldn't correct it. That's the problem with these new tires, is the tires are real slick and cold. Once you get a little heat built up to them, get a little bit of rubber torn off just a little bit, and they really start to turn on this track. But if you get into the gas a little too early, that's what can happen. The car will start wiggling on you, and it's really hard to catch. All right, since we just spoke to our leader, and I know there's friends and family out here rooting for this guy, let me see if I can find Mike Miller out in chat. Mike Miller. Unfortunately, I am not seeing a Mike Miller out in the Discord chat. Does not appear that he is in the Discord chat to be able to talk to him. So we will go down to another driver. I will pull up, let's pull up Joel. Mr. Joel Conley, you got a copy?
What's going on, brother?
I'm kind of hoping this doesn't jinx you, because last week when I talked to you, all of a sudden, right after I talked to you, you hit the wall and got damaged. But I'm going to bring you up this week and see how you're feeling about tonight's race at Nashville Super Speedway, how the truck's feeling for you. I know you're currently sitting out there in the top 10. How's it going on the track?
You know what? Last week we were running up front when we crashed and racing with some really fast guys, so not even mad. Truck's good. It gets tighter on the long run, so we're trying to save the right front. Just trying to be patient, but telling you, just to be up here with Jason, Nick, Jared, Stan's always fast. Just to be able to see these guys when we're racing, man, is a win for me.
Well, I mean, I know you're out there in Titusville, Florida. I'm sure you're well aware of the Florida man situation that my wife had to fill me in on. I was not aware of it. But looks like you're one of the few Florida men out on the track right now. Have you put any effort into Nashville, or done a lot of practicing in Nashville? I know it's not Daytona, it's not Miami Homestead, it's not one of those tracks in Florida. But have you done anything with Nashville yourself?
No, sir. I just get on and run, run whenever the practice is open. But Nashville, you know, you really have to back up the corner, just kind of slow in, fast out, which is fine. It drives like a big short track, but it always leaves you vulnerable for people kind of wanting to dive bomb the bottom. But a lot of fun, and the fastest drivers with the highest I ratings are going to shine at the end of the night.
Yeah, I know a lot of people always say that Nashville and Kentucky and even Kansas are kind of similarly shaped, but they drive completely different, obviously. I've never really had a problem with Nashville. I just never been super fast there, but you're looking pretty good right now up into the 6th position, up 4 positions from your start position. You got that Kool-Aid machine rolling. We'll see if we're talking to the end of the night in the top 3.
Oh, yeah, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, I'll send you back down to Southern Canadian Racing.
See you, brother.
All right, that's Joel Conley in the 1 truck in that Kool-Aid machine. I believe his name out there was Kool-Aid on Xbox. CM Bama 89 saying such a rookie mistake. CM Bama 89 saying Joel is a baby. All right, guess maybe not a fan of Joel's. But moving back up front, we're getting ready to come with 1 to green right now as they're coming off of turn 4. So we should be getting ready to roll here at Nashville Superspeedway again. Sorry, that was turn 2 they were coming off of. So turn 3 and 4 they're going into now with that big old truck out front. He should be ducking off down pit road here in just a second. And there goes the pace truck down pit road. Jason Fenzer going to lead him to the start stripe and get that green flag and rolling through the restart zone. He's on the gas pedal right now, getting up through the gears. Nick Gowan looks to be a little bit off of the jump that the 5 got. Going to have to try to slide down into that 2nd position down at the bottom, but there is a truck down there. I believe that is a 00 of Jared Moggard riding that inside line. They're going to have momentum going off of turn 2. Slides up, almost goes into the wall, getting single file through the top 6 as of right now. Trying to roll through the field to make sure there's nothing happening back here. Everybody kind of double filed from about 8th on back, trying to get into position. This is where I said they need to try to jump in and try to grab as many positions you can off the restarts, because it is very hard to make passes afterwards. Repeat saying this is I feel like I am. All right, let me know, Pete, if I'm not live. We got back out front. Jason Fencer, Nick Gowan sitting in 2nd, chasing down this 5. It seems like these guys, that's all they're doing is chasing this 5 all night. Kind of like Tom chasing Jerry for the older generation of Tom and Jerry, but it doesn't seem like they're able to get to the 5. 5 is just able to carry so much more speed through the corners and then carry that momentum right into the straightaways. He's just pulling on him. He's running faster lap times. He was a pole sitter, ran the fastest lap in the qualifying session. But, yeah, they're just not able to get with him tonight. So I'm not sure what it is Jason Fencer has underneath that Chevy, but it is flying. And we got a caution out on track. Looks like this one's going to be involving Jorge Rincon. So let me see if I can find the 28 machine of Jorge Rincon and see what happens. Riding on the back of Jorge Rincon in his 28 machine, going into turn 1. Looks like he's down to the bottom, slides up. Starts Yes, he does get turned by the 88. Oh, and the video shut off there, so it looks like he blinked out. Ooh, actually, never mind. He blew up. He is on pit road. But yeah, that would be the 88 that was involved in that one. That would be Sam Taylor out there in Exalta machine. Looks like he just got a little loose off the corner and turned right into the 28, put him right in the wall, and the 28 got stuck. Looks like the field, some guys have decided to come down pit road, some have not. Jason Findler, Jared Mogert, Jim Ott have not come down pit road. Those are your leaders. Stan Kernathan sitting fourth right now, also did not come down pit road. Nick Gowan, though, did decide to come down pit road. So one of your leaders did decide to jump and go down pit road and grab some tires. We'll see if this is a advantage for Nick or if this is a disadvantage. I would say at this point he's been chasing the 5 for about 42 laps, almost half of this race. He's been chasing around this thing, so maybe he's trying to get a little bit of strategy play and get off the strategy that the 5 and the 00 is on, since these three have been tagged together since the beginning of the race. But that will be our second caution of the night. Stan Kernathan, you got a copy, buddy?
I do. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? You're, from my perspective, you're looking really good tonight, sitting fourth. Started third, so you've been pretty much sitting in the top 4 all night. What do you got to find on track to deal with these 3 guys who've been out in front of you? One of them just dug down pit road, so that one's going to be a little easier to make the pass on him. But the 5 and 00, these 3 drivers, the 31, the 5, and the 00, have pretty much been the top 3 for the last 2 races. Been trailing them. What do you got to do to beat them in this race?
Well, like you said, one of them helped me out there by pitting. We've only got, like, I don't know, maybe 6 green flag laps on the tires, and I'm not interested in getting back there in traffic, but I mean, we just need a green flag run. I had probably the best tires after that opening run. Definitely among the 4 of us there. I even had, my tires were a little better than Nick's. So would have liked to seen that go green another 10 or 15 laps, but you'll have it.
Well, I mean, the way I've been seeing you drive this track, it looks very similar to the rest of the guys. Have you tried maybe different lines? Is there any other lines to run? I know I've seen a lot of guys floating in and kind of going down to the bottom and then floating back off the corner towards the outside wall. Is there any other way to run this track to try to make up speed?
No, you really got to kind of arc it in there. Gently, so to speak. I mean, clean air is king, so I mean, we'll see what happens here.
So one of my opinions was to try to jump and grab as many positions off the start. Is it hard to grab positions off the start, because I haven't seen a lot of movement?
Yeah, we're coming to the green here, but starting on the outside, yeah, a little bit. You gotta try to protect or get decent jump. So
all right, I'll send you back
see
down.
what happens.
Good luck, buddy. All right, Pace Truck is going to duck on off and go down pit road. 5 and 00 now going to be making up your front row. 5 going to have the start in the restart box. He's going to get the jump. And we are back green. The 00, Jared Mogert on the outside. That 5 getting the great jump in the restart zone. Looks like Jim Ott and the 4 got a good jump on the bottom 2. But the 00 is going to have to line up on the outside line to be able to carry that second position. All right, looks like we've got another caution now on track. rolling through turns 1 and 2 there, and then went into 3 and 4, and the caution came back out. So we'll take a quick look and find what started this one. I did see it said something about Austin Greer was involved in this one, and Frank Ranger Jr. and Robert Mathis might have been involved in this as well. So let's go take a look at Austin Greer and see what triggered this. Looks like somebody checked up hard out in front of them. I'm gonna go up and see who I can find in this thing that was out in front of them. It looks like maybe the 12, Mark Morton. 12's trailing the 17 right now. 17 gets a little loose. 12 has the hard check. 29 tries the hard check. Turns down into the 33. Causes calamity behind him. 17 going around. A lot of guys in the mix back here. So definitely a little bit of a roadblock back there once the 29 went around. I was up to 5 speed, but all right, we are 47 laps into this race, almost to the halfway point. We've had looks like it only says we've had 2 cautions. I thought we had more than that. I thought this was the 3rd one, but yeah, Jason Fencer's still out front. Jared Bogger 3rd, Jim Ott Jared Bogger 2nd, Jim Ott 3rd, Stan Granathan 4th, Joel Conley 5th, Jason Harrison 6th, Jamie Haynes 7th, Jeff No 8th. John Ross sitting 9th, James Suggs sitting 10th, Michael Carter sitting 11th, Al Lyken sitting 12th, Mike Miller, for the fans out there of his, is sitting 13th right now, Jeremiah Nelson sitting 17th, up 17 positions as well, or up 14. Sorry, he's in 14th position, up 17 positions. Dylan Pixmeyer is going to be sitting 15th, Adam Botton 16th, Jason Palmer 17th, Charles Mosley Jr. is going to be sitting 18th, Garrett Hall 19th, and Rob Hottenbach is going to be rounding out the top 20. Appreciate the bid drop special, Ed. Let me go see if I can find another driver and see if we can pull them up to the booth. I'd really like to pull Mike Miller up to the booth, but he is not in the Discord chat, so unfortunately I cannot pull him up to the booth to talk to him. Let's go ahead and grab new admin, Charles Mosley. Mr. Charles Mosley, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Riding around in your 89 machine tonight. You are sitting towards the middle of the pack. What do you got to do to get up towards the front tonight, and how is the track feeling for you?
Man, I gotta keep on hoping not make another big mistake like I did a while ago. I was getting down pit roads, trying to watch the stream on my phone to see if I can find out what was going on with that caution. Downshifted the first, spun it, so that took me out of the top 10. Just try to ride here and stay out of trouble. See if I can make it back up where I was at and have a good night.
I mean, you've had a good start to the season so far, sitting in the top 12 for the points. You finished 3rd last week. Great race by you. The guys who you were battling there for those positions, they've kind of continued their trend of being right there in the top 3. The rest of the field looks to be stacking up from 3rd all the way back to about 20th. You guys are all running similar lap times. Is it massive fall off or anything for the tires? I know you guys really haven't had some long runs here the last couple sets here with the cautions coming out.
Yeah. First run we had pretty nice run, like 20 laps or so. I started getting a little fall off. Gonna try to take it a little easier this time, seeing as I was coming from the back. I just got to keep my eyes open, head on the swivel, make sure missed anything that goes on in front of me.
All right, you guys are going back green, so I will throw you back down to your teammates, and good luck, and we'll see if we're talking to you at the end of the night.
All right, appreciate it, buddy.
All right, as we go into the restart box, the 5 of Jason Fencer gets back on that gas pedal, gets it going, gets a big jump from the rest of the field. 0-0 again. The outside line not able to get a good jump with the inside line. The 4 gets the good jump on the bottom, gets right alongside the 0-0 of Jared Mager. That is Jim Ott in the 4. He is not able to take that position, though, because the outside line has the momentum through 1 and 2. But will the 4 be able to make the pass and complete it on the 0-0 as they go through 3 and 4 to complete lap 51? Does not look like he's going to be able to do it. The 1 of Joel Connolly sneaking into the picture, trying to figure out which lane he's going to go with. Looks like he's going to go the outside lane of the 0-0. We've got another caution out on track. A big wreck going on towards the back. I will be able to pull this up here in just a second. That will be another caution out on track. We'll see who is involved in this one. Looks like David Deputy, James Ledford, and a bunch of others might be involved in this one. So we'll take a look back and see what started this calamity. All right, taking off from James Ledford's machine, and there it is. Big wreck going on. A lot of cars flipping on its side. James Ledford on the roof, sliding down the track. That is going to be a lot of cars involved in this one. We'll see exactly what started this. Thinking it's the black truck, so we'll take a look here. See if we can find out who that is. Seeing the number 7, that would be Jeremiah Nelson. So we'll go back and see if we can find out if he started it. It looks like he runs into the back of one, and then another guy tries to make a giant move there, and I think that's the 94. Took it 3 wide, bounced off the inside truck, hit the outside truck as well, and just blocked the road for the rest of the field there. Big run by the 94 and jumped it right in between 2 trucks, and did not go well for him after that. 94 truck in the Toyota would be Adam Botten that caused that one. And Elite Cup Racing Expo says, is that Kool-Aid? Yes, it is in the 1 truck. That would be Joel Connolly. We spoke to him earlier in this race. Mr. Kool-Aid running around here, sitting in the top 10, or actually right on the outside of the top 10, sitting 11th right now. He's been up towards the top 5 most of the night, but just pitted there and has dropped back. Looks like the top 4 did not pit. That would be Jason Fendler, Jim Ott, Jason Harrison, and Dylan Pickensmeyer that did not pit on that pit stop there. The rest of the field looks like they did come down pit road. Jared Mager going to be the first one on his fresh tires, and he's going to be currently sitting 5th. So fresh tires riding right behind the leaders. Not sure what decision maybe that was for Jason to not come down pit road. We'll see if that was a big mistake by him not going down pit road, or if maybe he's got some sort of other strategy mixed into this thing if we continue to have cautions. We're only halfway through the race. We got 47 laps, so they're going to have at least one more stop on tires, I would think. Fuel should be anywhere near, I would think, 30 to 40, somewhere around there. So we'll pull up Jared and see what he says. No, I can't find Jared, so we'll just wait. I swear I seen Jared in the chat, so I'll take another roll through here. No, guess not. See Jamie out there, and he did pit, so we'll pull Jamie up. Mr. Jamie Haynes, you get a copy of the SWATs of the booth.
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Got some string of cautions going on here. Looks like the top 5 or top 4 did not come down pit road there. You elected to come down pit road with a few others. About 46, 45 laps to go when we go back green here as you guys are going into turn 1 and 2. What is the strategy play there of pitting? I know you probably got one more pit stop, right?
Well, if it goes green, I'm going to be right on the edge of my number. So I went ahead and pitted in with the mindset of I don't plan on pitting again if it stays green.
All right, well, if cautions do come out, I would think you would stay out, and the rest of you that all just pitted would be staying out as well. But a lot of different strategies being played into this one. The track seems to be a little slippery for some, a little tricky for some, but you're riding around here in the top 10, looking to have a good night. Actually, sitting right in 11th, but right on the outside of the top 10. Good luck, and we'll see if we're talking to the end of the night.
Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, Jason Fensler getting ready to go through turns 3 and 4 with Jim Ott to his outside. Going to be bringing them to the green flag for another restart here in AER. We'll see if they can get this one to go green for a while. Jason Fensler in the 5, getting ready to come into the restart box, and he'll be getting on the loud pedal first. Jim Ott on the outside line. The outside line has not been able to stick with that inside line. As you see it again, giant gap being built up by the leader because he is the first one allowed on to the gas pedal and can get that jump. Outside line, though, has been able to contend with the bottom line once they get going, carrying the momentum on the outside line, but it's been difficult for the inside line to make those passes on the outside guys once they get going. We saw, Jim tried a couple times on Stan Carnathan. We saw a couple different drivers right there try to make passes. Jared Maugard was trying to be passed by Jim Ott. He wasn't able to make the pass to the bottom. Jared was able to carry the momentum. And we're just kind of single file and following the leader. We've heard a couple different drivers saying clean air is king at this track. Once you get single filed and running, it's very hard to get to somebody and make a pass. Coming through turns 1 and 2 as they exit off onto the backstretch. Jared Fensler still out front, or Jason Fensler still out front. Being chased by Jim Ott right now and Jason Ayerson. Dylan Pixmile and Sam Taylor rounding out the top 5. Bunch of drivers, though, mixed in from about 6th on back, have fresh tires. So we'll see if they're able to make through the field and get up here to the front. And I don't think Jason Fensler and a few others are able to make it to the end once they, if we stay green here. So they're going to have to wind up pitting. But they're probably hoping that we continue to see cautions and they continue to stay through the tires. 59 of the 100 completed. We've got 41 to go as they get ready to come to the start stripe as they go through 3 and 4. Out front. I don't know if it's like what everybody keeps talking about here. His control corner so much more smoother than everybody else. Here, front bumpers or the spoilers on the trucks to where they're just not able to get through and get to the back bumper. The one I've seen be able to challenge Jason early on in a run is Nick Gallen. Hit that round. And he is currently sitting back in 7th. And he's on actually a little bit older tires. He pit the stage made his way back into the top 10, trying to get back to the front here. Their strategies all over the place. Jason and Jim Ott and Jason Ayerson, they did not pit that round, so they're kind of hoping for more cautions to come out. Jared Maugard did pit. He's back up to 4th right now on his fresh tires and fuel. Dylan Pixmeyer falling back to 5th. Tires being out on a little bit newer tires. then Dylan, but not as new as Jared. He's up to 6. Sam Taylor's at 7. Mike York up to 8th. Joel Connolly, Mr. Rounding out the top 10 there. Mike Miller, who everybody keeps rooting for out there in the chat, he is currently back up to 13th place, so he's climbing back up through the standings. Jamie Haynes is up to 14th. Lost 3 spots on that restart. Jeff Miller moving up to the top 12. James Suggs moving up into 11th. Stan Carnathan, who's been riding around in the top 3 most of the night, currently sitting back here at 20th. He's got a lot of positions to make up. The guys out in front of him, besides about the top, or about the 5 or 6 of them, the rest of them, they've all got fresher tires than those guys. All right, 37 to go. We're going to go to a quick side by side. We'll be right back after the commercial break. Back out at Nashville Freeway for race number 3 for AER. We're still running around this track under green. 29 laps to go. Jason Fensler out front with Jared Mauger chasing him. Jim Ott still running around the top 3. Nick Gowan now up to 4th. Jason Harrison slipping back to 5th. Dylan Bixmeyer moving back to 6th. Bill Conley 7th. Sam Taylor 8th. James Suggs 9th. Jeff No 10th. 8th. 11th. Robert Mathis 13th. Jeremiah Nelson 14th. Michael Carter 15th. John Ross 16th. Robert Hattenbach 17th. Charles Mosley Jr. 18th. Mike Miller 19th. Dave Grant rounding out the top 20. Like I said, 28 laps to go, and Jason Fensler has pretty much been leading this whole entire race. He has not relinquished the lead pretty much from the start of the race. He had the pole as well. I think he was only lost maybe a lap or two of not being the leader. But I could be wrong there. I think maybe he's led every lap. But his strategy of not pitting the last 2 cautions, I think, could come back and bite him if we continue to go green. You heard Jamie Haynes earlier say that he's got enough fuel to hopefully make it to the end. The guys who did stay out should be short, I would think. Nick Gowan, Jared Mauger, who pitted, those guys should be pretty much good to go to the end as well. So the 5 truck looking for a caution to come out at some point here and hopefully bring the rest of the field with him. Jared Mauger trying to run back down the 5. He is currently about a half second back. Jim Ott is about a half second back from 2nd place. And then Nick Gowan about a second back from 3rd place. So a lot of different people moving the field, but the same names we've seen the last 2 weeks, the last 2 races, continuously moving up into the top 3. Right now, only Jim Ott separating that top 3 that's been there the entire season so far. Jared Mauger's finished 3rd and 2nd throughout the season so far. Jason Fensler 1st and 11th, and Nick Gowan 2nd and 1st. Sorry, after winning last week's race at 1st. Looks like Daryl saying kick-ass Dylan and Tay. I'm not sure who we were rooting for. Didn't find the name. Dylan Pickersmeyer back in 26th, hitting pit road right now. Jason Fensler also hitting pit road, relinquishing the lead. Jared Mauger, this is what I was talking about him being short. I didn't think he could make it. I'm hoping Jared, who just pit there with Jamie Haynes as well. Jamie saying that he was close to making it to the end. Nick pitted about 5 laps before Jared and Jamie, so he's going to be close on making it as well. We may see some very, very quick pit stops to just gather up some fuel. Jared Mauger taking over the lead. Could we see our 3rd different winner of the season of the guys who are currently 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the points? Mr. Jeff No Stout Whiskey sitting 5th right now in his 55 Winn-Dixie paint scheme. I do love this paint scheme from Mark Martin back in the day. Jeff No, huge Mark Martin fan. So love the paint scheme. Love that he is currently sitting in the top 5. Would love to see him get into the top 3 and come up with a booth at the end of the race. James Suggs sitting 4th. Joel Connolly up to 3rd right now. Jamie Haynes currently into 6th position. Jeremiah Nelson 7th. Rob Hattenbach 8th. John Ross 9th. And Michael Carter rounding out the top 10. Jared Mauger in the 00 looking to be about 2 seconds out in front of Nick Gowan and actually stretching it out to almost 2.5 seconds. Nick Gowan about a 1.5 seconds in front of James Suggs as Joel Connolly looks to slip from 3rd to 4th. Seeing the other driver that Daryl was looking for was Taylor McDonald. He is currently sitting, or Tay McDonald is currently sitting 11th in his 73 machine. 73 is surrounded by cars right now. Big Agro cars back here in the middle of the pack. This is where you don't want to be. Everybody that was always on streaming before used to call this the Hornet's Nest. And I absolutely agree. I hate being in the middle of the field in the races. It seems to be always where the trouble is at. But right now, Tay battling there in the 11th spot. Dylan sitting back there in 19th. So still pretty much in the middle of the field as well with 36 drivers on the field tonight. Jeff No moving up into third position right now as another driver hits pit road. That is Nick Gowan. Kind of concerned. He hit about 4 or 5 laps before Jared and Jamie. He hits pit road now with 20 to go. So coming down pit road, looks like he's going to wind up going for tires and fuel, it looks like. Jared Mogart out front, James Suggs second, Jeff No third, Joe Conley fourth, Jimmy Haynes, who said he was pretty much good to go to the end, is currently sitting fifth. Jared Mogart with about a 3.5, almost 4-second lead. He could probably back it off a little bit and conserve a little bit of fuel if he is concerned at all. James Suggs sitting back here in second, under fire for the 5 machine of Jeff No and the 1 of Joel Connolly. Jason Fensler by the 20 car right there. Fensler is currently 1 lap down, so he's going to have to unlap himself and come all the way back around if he is going to get to Jared. Big battle back here for fifth. We got fifth, sixth, and a bunch of guys on fresh tires. That's Jim Ott in the 4 who just pitted. Car up into the outside wall as these guys went by. Jared Mogart continuing to lead. Looks like he's stretching out his lead to almost 4 seconds. Kind of concerned for him for fuel. If Jamie said he was that close with a 4-second lead, I would probably back it off just a little bit, or even clutch it, or let off going into the corner a little bit earlier. I know that does kind of throw off your rhythm. You know, it's not what you're used to doing. It's guys kind of get into a rhythm and they just stick to what they're doing because it's working. And if you go, you know, letting off a little different or not getting in the gas as early as you are in the corners, it can sometimes throw you off your rhythm and cause some issues for you. Jeff No battling back here, trying to catch up to James Suggs in the 20, sitting third right now, being chased by the 4th position of Jeremiah Nelson in that 7 truck, who we saw earlier involved in an incident. Jamie Haynes in the 53 also right in the mix as well with the 38, who I believe is a lap down. 38 of Dylan Pickles back here, currently 1 lap down. No able to pull away from the 7 truck just a little bit there and give him some breathing room. Jared's still out front. He has backed it off just a hair, I guess. He's just now under 4 seconds, still out in the lead. The 5 truck of Jason Fensler looks to have gotten by the 00 and is on a tear trying to catch back around to the leaders. You see the 00 of Jared Mogart right there in the frame behind the 5 truck as he pulls away from the 00. He's on the fresh tires, has the fuel to make it to the end for sure. He is going to put everything he can into this run to try to get back around and get back to the lead. James Suggs under attack by a lap down car, the 44 of Jason Ayerson, who's 1 lap down going underneath the 20 truck right now. You got the 38 of Dylan Pickmeyer, who's also going underneath the 20 truck, 20 relinquishing those 2 spots to the lap down cars. 31 of Nick Gowan coming back into the picture after he went a lap down for his pit stop. He is currently sitting in the 20th position, 1 lap down. He is currently trying to get back up to the front to unlap himself. If this continues to go green with 13 laps to go, I don't think Jason or Nick are going to be able to catch back up to Jared, who has over 4.5 second lead now. He has not backed it off at all. He must be secure in his thought of finishing out this race under the fuel that he currently has in the truck. I would have thought it would have been close, and I would have thought with a 5-second lead he'd have backed it off a little bit, but drivers get into those rhythms and they just stick to it, or they don't have the tools up on screen to let them know. But yeah, he is running. Jeremiah Nelson takes over the 3rd spot, takes it over from Jeff No in that 7 truck, moving up to the spot. Looks like 23 of Mike York making his way past the 55 as well. Not for a position though, as Mike York is back in the 27th position. He is currently 3 laps down. But a great run for Jeff No tonight, still in the top 5. See if he can hold on to that top 5 finish. Jared Mager now out to over a 5-second lead. 44 is the lap down truck trying to unlap himself. Same with 31, who was right behind him. Now 10 laps to go for Jared Mager. We could see our 3rd different winner of the season so far. All 3 are currently sitting 1st, 2nd, 3rd in the points. If this ends like this is going to be a bad night for the 5 truck of Jason Fensler and 31 of Nick Gowan, as they are currently sitting 15th and 18th. So Jared Mager currently sitting 2nd in the points, looking to take over the lead in the points. We could have a 3rd different leader in the standings at the end of this race. 9 laps to go as they go through turns 3 and 4. All these drivers that just unlapped themselves are praying for a caution right now to try to restack the field and get line back up and hopefully maybe even come down and grab another set of tires and fuel. Jared, he is out to a 6.5 seconds. Jared Mager has not won a race on iRacing in the league races. He is a ARCA racer for AER on Sunday nights, and currently their points leader over there, but has not won this season. So has finished 3rd and 2nd 2 races in a row, looking to improve 1 more spot again this week and get his 1st win of the season, 1st win of the league. Seven laps to go as the 00 goes into turns 3 and 4, coming to 6 to go now. James Suggs in the 20 is still back about 5.5 seconds, almost 6 seconds. Only thing that can hurt the 00 now is a caution, but we've been green for about 40 laps, I think. Yeah, 43 laps. Jamie Haynes still sitting back there in 7th. Doesn't look like he's putting the pedal to the floor. So it looks like maybe he's a little more concerned about the fuel. Jeff No still sitting 4th. Tay McDonald up to 5th in his 73 machine. Jamie Haynes 6th and Robert Hottenbach 7th. Joel Conley 8th. Michael Carter 9th. Stan Kernathan getting back up into the top 10. 5 to go as the 00 crosses the line. 4-5 to go through turns 1 and 2 onto the backstretch. Michael York on the 23 trying to unlap himself down to 2 laps down. Jared has run a very, very clean race. He has been hovering in the top 3, top 4 all night. Started on the outside in the 2nd position and has pretty much, just like I said, stayed in the top 5 all night. Worked his way into the 1st spot due to some pit strategy calls by guys out in front of him. The last caution that did come out, the top 4 stayed out. Those 4 needed to come down. There was a few others that pitted the caution before that. So they were about 4 laps short. And Jared and Jamie and a few others decided to come down the last caution, start towards the middle of the pack, and have worked their way right back up to the front. 3 laps to go as we go down the backstretch. Jeff No working on the back of the 7 truck hard to get to that top 3. Really wants that podium finish. Really hoping that 55 can clear the 7 and get up into that podium so we can talk to Mr. Stout Whiskey at the end of the night. 2 to go as we cross the line for 00. Jared Mager out there in his Chevy machine, that red and silver paint scheme, looking really smooth out on track. Running the bottom line, just kind of coasted in the corner, lets it roll down to the bottom, then rolls it out towards the wall coming off the corner. Carries the speed down the backstretch, doing the same thing in 3 and 4. Diamonds the corners, he dives it down to the line, almost to the line, slides it back up the track, and comes across the finish line. 1 to go. Final lap, white flag in the air for AER's Truck Series race number 3 at Nashville Superspeedway. Jared Mogard through turns 1 and 2, down through the backstretch, going through the final 2 turns of the race, looking smooth as he comes across through 3 and 4. He's only got the start stripe in front of him with the checker flag waving, and there is the man on the booth, and there is Jared Mogard coming through, winning race number 3 at Nashville Superspeedway. James Suggs going to be second. Jeff No actually sneaks up into second place. James Suggs goes back to third. Tay McDonald goes to fourth as they came across the finish line. Jeff No making a big dive down through the bottom, going through the apron, and pulls off second position. The 55 and the Winn-Dixie going to second place after the final turn. What an incredible finish by Jeff No. Car sneaking across the finish line there, clearly out of fuel. Wow, that was a great finish by the 55. Jared Mogard getting his first win in AER. I want to go back and see that move that Jeff No made coming to the finish line. But we will go to the burnout and be right back to talk to the top 3. All right, we are back, and KS Game Broadcasting Burnout Lane bringing you the top three. And actually, tonight looks like we'll be talking to the top two, as third place is not in the Discord. So we'll be talking to tonight's winner, Jared Mogert, in the double zero. One position better after last week's second place finish, after one place finish better than the first race in third, has continuously to move one spot up, and tonight gets a win after I just said that I didn't think he had a win yet in AER, and he informed me that he won last night's ARCA race. So he got his first win last night and then gets his first win here in the Truck Series tonight. Jared, great race by you, dude. Top five all night. Started in the top five. I think you started fourth. Just an incredible run by you the last three races. How do you explain these three races here where you don't, we've talked about it before, you don't have a ton of experience in league racing. You've done more official racing, and you just got into the league racing part over on the ARCA side, and it sounds like you're doing great on the ARCA side. And for these first three races of the season, third, second, and first 3 weeks in a row is pretty dang good in my opinion.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like I said, got the win last night. Last night was Pocono, and tonight was Nashville, and there are two tracks that I do okay. I'm not very confident, to be honest with you, at either one of them, but we were able to get the win both nights. So, tonight I don't think we were the fastest truck. I think we were second, probably third place truck there. It looked like Nick and the five James had a little bit more pace on the long run, but made a couple adjustments, and I felt better as the race went on, and we had that little stretch there where it kind of got a little caution filled, and we got in the fuel window, and I figured, I had the feeling it was going to go green, so I figured we might as well get gas and, run it to the end there and see what happens. And be honest, I was waiting for yellow there the last 10 laps, because that's usually how my luck goes when it comes to strategy.
So I was kind of watching the cautions as they were happening there on who was actually pitting, and I saw Nick come down a little earlier than you guys did. One caution before, all of the top 8 had pitted at the same time. All of you guys took fuel and tires back 49 laps ago. On that last caution that came out, Jamie, I was talking to during that caution, and he said, I took fuel this time because we're within the window of making it to the end if we go green. And obviously that was the strategy call. I was a little confused on when I saw you dive down that Jason did not try to go down pit road, and it definitely threw him off with pit strategy to where he had to make a stop. Nick, because he had pitted 4 laps before you guys did on that caution before, he wound up having to come down pit road, and it threw everything off as far as those front two that you spoke of that were probably the faster 2 trucks tonight. But hey, the fastest truck doesn't always win. Sometimes the strategy calls, and just being clean and straight through the entire race, and you have done that for the first 3 races of the season, and you've been sitting second in the points, and tonight I believe you're going to take over that top spot in the Truck Series. Congratulations on your second win in AER, first race in the trucks getting the win. But, just great call by all of you in the top 8 that decided to come down pit road that last caution. And obviously the lucky rabbit's foot or something, Jeff No must have got rid of his demons on track, because he must have been dangling Lucky Rabbit's feet all over that truck. But you guys all came out on top, and you got 1, 2, 3. You first, Jeff No second, James Suggs third. So congratulations to all 3 of you. Jared, I can't say you've had I don't think this could have gotten any better for you in a 4-week stretch or 3-week stretch, really, of finishing third, second, first in the trucks last night, and then first tonight. Incredible 4 races for you. Any shout outs for you? Anything like that?
Yeah, it's definitely good. Like we talked about it last week a little bit. It's just about being consistent, and if you do that, the wins will come. So it feels really good to get both of them out of the way with each respective series, and hopefully we can continue that here the next few weeks, and kind of get a few more dubs and run consistently. But I got to thank TDS Internet, iBuyPower Computers, Asus Monitors. Twitchy Race Reports. Again, Jamie and everybody for putting on this league. You as well for doing the broadcast for everybody. And it got a little boring there. It wasn't quite as exciting as maybe the last couple of weeks there with that long run. But either way, it was still a pretty good race. And hopefully everybody enjoyed. And congrats to the rest of the top three. And we'll head on to, I think we're dirt racing next weekend, aren't we?
Yes, we are at Knoxville. So only going down the road, it looks like, into Kentucky and getting some dirt racing going. How are you on dirt?
Well, I mentioned this. I think last week we talked about it very briefly, but I like the dirt. Kind of know what I got to be doing there, and so I'm looking forward to it. And Knoxville's a pretty fun place to race at too. So we'll be ready to rock and roll next week again.
Got to turn right to go left on dirt track, so we'll see if you guys are able to hang on to them as they go around these corners at Knoxville. But like I said, congratulations on the win tonight. Definitely moves you up into the top spot in the standings 3 weeks in. Great season so far.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, going to second place, and I have been waiting to call this guy's name in a top three in a booth for a very, very long time. Jeff No, good buddy, shirtless, drinking beer on the side while you're driving. How are you doing tonight? And I got to say, fantastic race by you. An incredible finish to the finish line. Coming off turn 4, it looked like you were going to be about third or fourth and dove it down on the apron and came away with second. It was incredible to watch. After I watched Eric go past the start-finish line, I seen the group of cars coming, and I wasn't sure who was in front of the pack, and then I saw the black truck coming, and I was like, oh, it's the 55. Jeff Knows coming. Dude, how did you pull that off coming off of turn 4?
Well, to start off here, I needed a couple more cautions, to finish off this six-pack of Budweiser, but I was able to get through 4 there with those cautions. Nah, man, I knew it was going to be a fuel race there to the end, and I just stuck to the plan. I didn't save any fuel. I just rode the bottom all the way around the track. Took the short way around, kept those RPMs down, kept that speed down, and it paid off. I ran out of fuel as soon as we crossed the stripe and went from fourth to second there off of turn 4. So definitely needed this after last week. I finished 9th the first week. Probably should have finished 4th or 5th, but I slid through my box and lost about 10 seconds under that whole green flag run. Last week, I was just a victim of others racing around me. So to come back here and get a second place, which is going to bump us up in the points, man, that's much needed.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting 9th right now in the points after the Bristol race, only 5 points up on the 12th or the 13th position. This is definitely going to bump you up. Getting a great finish tonight in second. Like I said, obviously we've met, we've had lunch together. I've been calling races. I've been in races with you all the way back to the Xbox days. When you go back and watch the stream, I was on you a couple different times saying, please, 55, go into the top 3 so I can get you to talk to you in the booth. I know our good buddy Repeat is out there saying, hell yeah, Stout, nice job. Special Ed's out there saying, Jeff, no, baby. Stan just dropped 55 bits, so thank you, Stan, for that. Special Ed just commented again saying, yeah, Jeff. There's a lot of people who love watching you race all the way back to the Xbox days, even when you were, racing in those Pro League stuff and all that. Obviously back, with me, NNR days and coming over to iRacing, it's been a struggle. I think when I got out of racing, I think I handed off the demons to your truck or your cars. Because I seemed like I couldn't finish a race. I was always involved in somebody else's mistakes. It was never, my doing. It was just somebody else pulling something stupid, and I would, find it. And it seems like that's how it's been for you on iRacing as well. And tonight, no more demons. I think you cleared them. I think we got some sage going or something here in Nashville, and it just cleared it out for you. Hopefully this is a start to something big, and you can get back to those days of being dominant on the Xbox side over here on the iRacing side.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, a lot of being successful over here comes with time and being able to practice. I actually just came up on my 1-year anniversary of having iRacing, and my practice was basically getting in the race and racing. And it's because I just don't have time. I got 2 little kids. I'm teaching, so coming back to these tracks where I've been at and kind of know how to approach and attack the track really is really going to help me, especially moving forward. So I actually had about 20 minutes of practice tonight, which usually I get on, man, and I qualify cold. We put it down on 12-1, and we send the damn thing. But was able to figure out a little bit of stuff. Actually qualified 11th. I think that's the best I've qualified outside of super speedway while being on iRacing. So definitely feels good to, just bring it home, man, in one piece and not a tore up Cybertruck.
Well, I'm sure you're just as ecstatic as I am. I think, well, maybe me and Pete are maybe a little more ecstatic than you probably are because we just, I mean, we love watching you race, bud, and it's always great when Pete and I get to call races that you're in, or Pete calls them by himself on the other nights, and or I call them now on Monday nights with you, and it's always a pleasure to see you up here, and I'm really glad I got to call tonight's race and see you in the top 3 for the finish and get to talk to you at the end of the night rather than talking to you afterwards. maybe the UFC thing the other night, maybe that brought you some luck. So I guess maybe I'll have to do that again at some point, pull you up in there, and we'll watch some more fighting.
Yeah, shoot you, Kurt. I appreciate it, man. I've always tried to be a humble racer and make it about other people, just because that's kind of how I was raised and taught how to live life. As life's not about you; it's about other people. So I got to thank you for sacrificing your time to call races and even though Pete's not doing this, Pete's done a lot of our races, and I haven't been able to properly thank him. So thank you, Pete. Shout out to Jamie, and Charlie's running it. Chris helped found the AER with Jamie. I got to thank those guys for giving not only me a home, but everybody else a home to race. And I got to give the SCR guys, Southern Canadian Racing. Those are my boys, man. They've got me up to speed on iRacing and pointed me in the right direction. Then of course my team, man. It's Eon's Motorsports. I love Stan and Mike. We go back to the
old
Xbox
days.
days.
On Xbox.
Yep. And they were like, hey Jeff, want you to team up with us and run some different stuff with us. So here we are.
I mean, that group of guys that you're talking about, those 3 are all 3 in the top 5 or top 6 in the points, and you're sitting there 9th. Now you're going to move up there with them. It looks to be a pretty, stout team, no pun intended, with stout whiskey in there. But, I mean, are you learning anything from Nick? I mean, Nick's been dominating these first 3 races, really, and he was one of the fastest cars or trucks tonight. Doesn't have the finish to show it, but he was leading a lot of laps. He was up here following the 5 most of the night. He's finished 2nd and won last week at Bristol, a race that, you got involved in an incident there. But, it was Nick or Mike or Stan. Those guys have been able to help you as well on iRacing or figuring out things throughout the race. I know, obviously, with Nick being so dominant, you have to learn something from the guy.
I actually don't, man. And that's nothing. Nick is fantastic. He's one of I'd say the 4 or 5 best guys I've raced against on here, and he's far superior talent on this iRacing thing than I am. But I'm me, I've always been kind of a lone wolf in a lot of ways, and I do my own thing, man. And like tonight, I ran a totally different setup than those guys did, and it paid off for me.
Well, definitely congratulations on the top 2 tonight. Hopefully this turns into more nights of being able to talk to you at the end of the races. Any big shout outs or anything like that other than what you've already done?
Nah, man. Like I said, I'm thankful that I get to do this for fun and hang out. I'm very appreciative of that. And like I said, Jamie, Charlie, SCR, Eon's Motorsports. I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for those guys who taught me through the hard times with some of the difficulties I've had with iRacing.
All right, well, definitely appreciate coming up into the booth. That is Mr. Jeff No in the 55 win Dixie coming home 2nd tonight. 3rd place, James Suggs, was not able to make it up to the booth. We're not going to be able to talk to 3rd place finisher tonight. The rest of the field, Tay McDonald finishing 4th, Jamie Haynes, your owner admin, finishing 5th, Jeremiah Nelson 6th, Joel Conley 7th, Stan Carnathan in that 43 Chevy finishing 8th, Jorge Rincon coming back after his incident early on in the race finishing 9th, and Jason Fensler, who was in the top 3 in the points, looks like he might slide down just a little bit, winds up finishing 10th 2 weeks in a row outside the top 5. We'll be back tomorrow night for Velocity Motorsports Next Gen Series. I'll be going live at 7:30. I'll be in the booth the entire season for Velocity Motorsports with my brother Shad, otherwise known as Shadilac, out in SS Motorsports, making paints and things like that for people, for trading paints and things like that for leagues. Any of the videos you saw tonight, things like that, I make those myself. So if you need any videos for your broadcast, league races, things like that, definitely reach out and I'll go through the process of building you a video and making something good for you. But like I said, we'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 for the Next Gen Series, and we'll be back next Monday for this Truck Series. Will we have a fourth different winner in American Elite Racing's Truck Series? We will see next week as we go dirt racing, slinging some dirt out at Knoxville up in Kentucky. Really appreciate all the chats and messages, all the people rooting for different drivers. A lot of viewers in tonight, 20-plus viewers for most of the race here, and a lot of different chats out on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Roku channel. I've seen a lot of stuff flying around in the chats, so really appreciate all you guys, and we'll be back next week, or tomorrow night, like I said. So thank you very much, and catch you tomorrow.